Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We're all about getting to the good stuff, like actually learning things and having those aha moments without having to wade through, like tons and tons of information.
Right. Who has time for that these days?
Exactly. So today we're diving into something I think a lot of you are going to find really interesting. It's about building what our source calls a digital empire. And get this, while still working your regular 9 to 5.
And to make things even more interesting, the source material we're looking at comes from someone who's actually doing this right now. Like they're living it, not just talking about it.
That's what makes this deep dive so valuable, right? It's a real world perspective from someone who's walking the walk.
Absolutely.
So I guess our mission today is to break down like the why, the what, and the how of this whole digital empire thing.
Yeah.
What's driving people to do this? What does it actually look like in practice? And most importantly, like what could this mean for you, especially if you've ever felt kind of stuck in the traditional career grind?
Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start with the big question. Why? Why are people even drawn to this idea of building a digital empire in the first place?
Well, our source really emphasizes this desire for more freedom and control over your life and your time. Being able to work on your own terms, set your own hours, and potentially earn an income that's not limited by a fixed salary, that's a pretty powerful motivator for a lot of people.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Like, who doesn't want more freedom and flexibility in their lives, right?
Right? And the author makes it clear that this isn't just some pipe dream reserved for a select few.
Hmm.
This is something anyone can pursue regardless of their background or their current job.
And I think that's a really important point because sometimes you hear these success stories and you think, oh, well, that's great for them, but it's not realistic for me.
Exactly. But this source challenges that notion
Mm.
and argues that building a digital empire is actually achievable for anyone who's willing to put in the effort.
So it's not about who you are or where you come from. It's about your willingness to learn and to take action. Now, the source we're looking at specifically mentions people who work at banks. And, bank jobs can often feel very routine driven and maybe not super fulfilling in the long run.
Right. It's like you're just a cog in a giant machine. And there's often this sense of monotony, like you're not really using your creativity or seeing a lot of opportunities for growth.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck doing the same tasks day in and day out. And on top of that, there's the financial reality of working a 9 to 5, the fixed income, the struggle to save and invest, the pressure of living paycheck to paycheck.
And let's not forget about the time commitment that a traditional job often demands.
Yeah,
It could really take a toll on your personal life and your relationships.
absolutely. So it's not just about the money, it's about having the freedom to spend your time doing the things that matter most to you.
Exactly.
And here's something I found really interesting. This source talks about how a lot of people feel stuck in their careers like they're too old or they don't have the right skills to make a change.
Oh yeah, that feeling is so common.
Yeah.
But the author really challenges those limiting beliefs and suggests that it's never too late to start something new.
It's like they're saying, hey, you're not defined by your age or your current job. You have the power to create a different future for yourself.
And the internet has made it easier than ever to do that. There are so many resources and opportunities available online that can help you build a new skill set and start a new career path.
Okay, so we've talked about the why. Now let's get into the what. When we say digital empire, what are we actually talking about here?
So the source defines a digital empire as essentially an online business or brand that generates income and value independently of your traditional job.
Okay, so it's not just about making a few extra bucks online. It's about building something sustainable, something that can potentially replace your 9 to 5 income.
Exactly. And what's really appealing about this is the flexibility it offers. You can work from anywhere at any time, and you're not tied to a specific location or schedule.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing. And another thing the source emphasizes is the potential for fulfillment that comes with building a digital empire.
Absolutely. It's about aligning your work with your passions and creating something that you're truly proud of. It's not just about the money. It's about finding purpose and meaning in what you do.
I love that. So it's not just about escaping the rat race, it's about creating a life that's more aligned with your values and your goals.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have a better understanding of what a digital empire is, but for someone who's listening to this and thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I actually do it? What are some concrete examples?
Well, the source gives several practical examples of what building a digital empire could look like, and I think they'll resonate with a lot of you listening. One example is starting an e-commerce store based on something you're passionate about.
So like if you love baking, you could start an online bakery and sell your delicious creations.
Exactly. Or if you're really into fashion, you could curate and sell vintage clothing online. It's all about turning your passion into a profitable business.
That makes sense. What other examples does the source give?
Another example is creating online courses. So if you have a particular skill or expertise, you can share that knowledge with others and generate income from it.
Like if you're a whiz at coding, you could create a course teaching people how to build websites.
Right. Or if you're a financial expert, you could create a course on personal finance and investing. There's a huge demand for online learning these days, and people are willing to pay for valuable information.
So it's about leveraging your existing skills and knowledge to create something that others will find helpful.
Exactly.
What else?
The source also talks about starting a blog or a YouTube channel and building an audience around your content.
So like if you're really into travel, you could start a travel blog or vlog and share your adventures with the world.
Exactly. Or if you're a fitness enthusiast, you could create workout videos and share your fitness journey with others. The possibilities are really endless.
And once you have an audience, you can monetize your content through advertising, sponsorships, or even by selling your own products or services. Okay, so there's e-commerce, online courses, blogging, YouTube. What else is there?
Yeah, the source also mentions affiliate marketing, which is basically promoting other people's products or services and earning a commission on any sales you make.
So it's kind of like being a salesperson, but you're doing it online and you don't have to create your own products.
Right, exactly. You're basically recommending products that you believe in and earning a cut of the profits if someone buys through your link.
That sounds like a good way to get started, especially if you're not ready to create your own products or services.
Yeah, it's a low-risk way to dip your toes into the world of online business.
Okay, so we have all these different examples, but sometimes it's hearing those real-life success stories that really makes an idea click. You know, like seeing that it's actually possible to achieve this.
I agree.
Yeah.
And luckily, the source shares a couple of really inspiring stories that I think will really resonate with you. One story is about Sarah, who was working as a bank teller and had a passion for fashion. In her spare time, she started an e-commerce store selling curated vintage clothing. And get this, within a year, she's making 6 figures from her business.
Wow, that's incredible. A bank teller turned six-figure fashion entrepreneur. That's amazing.
It is. And it shows that with hard work and dedication, you can really achieve your dreams even while working a full-time job.
Definitely. What about the other story?
The other story is about John, who was a financial analyst but had a deep passion for fitness. He started a YouTube channel where he posted workout videos and shared his fitness journey.
Okay.
And within a year, he had built a following of millions of subscribers and was making a 6-figure income from sponsorships and ad revenue.
That's insane. So he went from crunching numbers to becoming a fitness influencer all in the span of a year.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And I think what's so inspiring about both Sarah and John's stories is that they both started with something they were passionate about and then leveraged the power of the internet to build successful businesses.
It's like they took their passions and turned them into their professions.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about this whole digital empire concept. It's about creating a life where you're doing work that you love and that brings you joy.
So for someone who's listening to this and thinking, okay, I'm ready to start my own digital empire, what are some concrete steps they can take to get started?
Well, the source outlines several key steps, and I think they're really helpful. The first step is to identify your passions and strengths. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? What problems can you solve for others?
It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills and interests intersect.
Exactly. And once you've identified your niche, the next step is to start small and test your idea. You don't have to quit your job and invest a ton of money up front. Just start with a minimal viable product or service and see what kind of response you get.
So like if you want to start an e-commerce store, maybe just launch with a few products to test the waters.
Right. Or if you want to create an online course, maybe offer a free mini course to get some feedback from potential students.
It's about validating your idea before you go all in.
Exactly. And the third step, and this is crucial, is consistency. Building a digital empire takes time and effort. You have to be willing to show up consistently, even when you don't see immediate results.
Yeah, it's like anything else in life. Success doesn't happen overnight. It requires persistence and dedication.
Absolutely. And the fourth step, and this is something a lot of people struggle with, is patience. It takes time to build a successful online business, sometimes years. So you have to be patient and trust the process.
Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Just keep putting in the work, and eventually you'll start to see progress.
And the final step, and this is perhaps the most important, is to take action. All the planning and strategizing in the world won't get you anywhere if you don't actually start doing something.
So don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start taking small steps today, and eventually those small steps will add up to big results. So to sum it all up, this idea of building a digital empire while working a traditional job, like at a bank, is presented as a very real possibility in the source material we looked at. It's not easy, it takes work, but the potential rewards are huge.
It's about creating a life of freedom, flexibility, and fulfillment. It's about being your own boss, working on your own terms, and building something that you're truly passionate about.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive, and I hope it's inspired you to think about the possibilities that exist beyond the traditional career path.
Me too.
And on that note, here's a final thought for you to ponder as you go about your day. What is one passion or skill that you could explore as a potential starting point for your own digital empire journey? Even if it's just a small step, what's something you can do today to start moving in that direction? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.